Step into the Kathy Rogers podcast studio for the familiar comfort of your best friend's mom. Explore what shapes us, strengthens us, and connects each of us to God's distinct purpose. Get ready for new ways of seeing how resilience bears fruit.
Hi, I'm Kathy Rogers. Welcome to the Kathy Rogers podcast. People frequently ask me what I do to stay strong and fit. What are my health habits? This week's topic is at the front of my mind because we just returned from a 2-week amazing road trip with stops in Florida for a powerful leadership conference, then Savannah for some sightseeing, and finally North Carolina, where we were making new friends and growing as individuals and a couple. It was a wonderful time, yet out of my routine. Habits, I adjusted them to take advantage of the opportunities, but it's time to return to the beneficial habits. I picture my health habits as a 4-legged table, as a reminder for maintaining balanced living. I found 4 simple habits to restoring wellness after my cancer journey. And I continue it as I age, gracefully. I like the table or stool analogy to remember if one of the legs is too short or too long, there's an imbalance. Something is just off. The first leg of my healthy table, move my body. I'm a member of a fitness group with a variety of formats each day of the week that I get to complete in 30 minutes. This works for me because I enjoy the family that I work out with, and it doesn't take too much of my day. I believe one of the most important aspects of my routine includes developing and maintaining muscle mass and staying strong. I'm really intentional about this. I worked for a few years with a trainer, 2 to 3 hours each week to develop good form, good habits, and I made myself progress to lifting heavier than I ever thought I could. I had the goal of increasing muscle mass and reducing fat mass. Let's back up just a little bit. While I was going through chemo, first of all, I learned that chemo treatments and protocols vary by not only what kind of cancer, but the type within the kind. I was grateful for the cure, and I partially hope that the side effects may be like nausea and maybe loss of appetite, but that was just me not being unsympathetic, but hoping for more benefit from my chemo treatment versus what really happened. After my first biweekly treatment, I had gained 1.5 pounds. I did the math. I was on a 26-week chemo plan, 2 different chemos, some biweekly, some weekly. That was going to be almost a whole pound each week over 26 weeks. Are you kidding me? Well, doc, what is up with this? He explained that the steroids were causing the weight gain. I wondered why we needed so much steroids. My understanding was that the steroids were protecting the healthy cells from the grueling impact. It helped my body handle this serious medicine. As if we really needed that much, we did cut back on them a little bit, and my body was still good. At the end of the full treatment, I was up 15 pounds, not the 20 that could have been piled on. Yes, this picture is of me, post-chemo, fuzzy hair trying to come back. Interestingly, I still find myself apologizing for my chemo choices. I have numerous friends in the natural treatment of cancer camp, and I have a feeling some of them have judged my choice as not wise. But it's what happened to me. God used it to destroy my aggressive cancer, and for that I'm grateful. I also did what I could to detox my body with juices post-chemo. I believe in the healing power of our bodies and taking responsibility for knowing my own body better than any advisors, physicians, friends. I'm grateful for the treatment that healed my body. Not everyone gets a positive outcome. This is a good reminder. When I find myself curious about other people's choices, I need to remember I don't know the whole story. There's not a one size fits all for medical treatments or even for most circumstances in life. Maybe I can learn to offer grace and acceptance and know that God and they know what's best for them. Okay, back to moving my body. The doctor suggested that taking off the fat post chemo may be difficult and unlikely. Well, did I hear that as a challenge and respond? You bet I did. That same doctor said that one of the most beneficial things I could do as I age would be resistant weight training. So now I pick up the heavier weight. I can, and I think I should. So don't sell yourself short. You're stronger than you think. It took time, but as I gained muscle through working out and macro planning, more of that later, fat began to go away. Did you know that muscle burns more calories even if the body is at rest? That's a good thing. If you think you are going to start looking like a bodybuilder or, as some say, bulky, that's not going to happen. More muscle means stronger. And to me, that means playing with the grandkids. It also strengthens those, loosen as you age joint areas, ankles, knees, hips. So when I do make that goofy, uncoordinated move, as I am known to do, I just strain or sprain something. I don't break it. It's not all about being in the gym. Do what you like to stay active. I enjoy being outside. I enjoy playing with the kids, throwing a ball, throwing an airplane, catching a frisbee, riding my bike, or just enjoy doing the yard work outdoors. I like taking a walk after dinner with Brian. Last year, members of our family trained for a marathon. Well, actually, I walked a half marathon. My daughter-in-law ran one. My son ran an ultra marathon. It was multifaceted in how we processed our grief and honored Elena, who had participated in the marathon a decade earlier. Keeping fit allows me to say yes to those opportunities, and I don't want to miss out on those great memories. The second leg on my table is water intake. I'm not going to try to tell you how much. There's so many opinions on how much water, not to get too much. But I will tell you this, if you're not going to the bathroom multiple times each day, you probably need more. I know my body. I know when a headache is from dehydration, as many of them can be. I know when I need to increase the intake or maybe add some healthy electrolytes, not full of sugar, to help my body after sweating through the summer. The correct amount of hydration makes my body work better. My brain functions better. So pay attention to how much plain water you drink. Note plain water. Tea and coffee don't count. And don't even get me started on any sugary drinks. The third leg on my table is food intake. Food intake. I didn't say diet on purpose. Diet is a 4-letter word that has become a catch-all for lots of detailed, controlled, or wishing for easy programs. I'm not a dieter. I never have been. I learned early in life, and don't ask me who because I don't remember, to feed my body when I'm hungry. Only in the past 10 to 20 years did I really understand what feeding my body really means. I've learned from a dietitian friend and through the nutrition coaching where I work out that our consumption feeds this beautiful machine called a human body. I'm not a dietitian, but I've learned about macros, such as protein, carbohydrates, fats, and what works for me. I function well by prioritizing protein, not just powders and bars and shakes, but minimally processed food and plant proteins. The body uses protein to build muscle, and protein takes longer to digest, so I'm going to feel full longer. Fresh fruits and veggies with basic carbs and effective fats. Yes, I eat butter, potatoes, and rice. I try to eat organic produce, and I try to find a go-to favorite each season. It's easy for me. I am an eat to live, not live to eat person. That means I don't have to have an experience or variety. I can eat the same thing for lunch for an entire month. That drives my family crazy, especially when it's tuna fish. I just remember being around my daughter who was pregnant that I didn't know was pregnant at the time and just eating my yogurt mixed with tuna fish right in her face. Well, she did a great job of not throwing up, which I'm sure was not easy. I'd like to take a moment with a brief comment on alcohol consumption. I have enjoyed cocktails in my lifetime. I've used alcohol to medicate or escape in my early 20s. And more recently, I really like a tequila cocktail by the pool or on the beach. But a year ago, when my body was in full-blown grief mode, by grief mode, I mean not responding as expected, not in thoughts, emotions, or even exercising. My reaction time and automatic feedback, what I call Kathy mode, it was off the tracks. I realized I was not enjoying the buzz or relaxing as I had in the past. So I gave it up. By the way, processing grief is rarely, if ever, well assisted by alcohol. I've heard way too many stories of avoidance of feelings and over medicating with alcohol. Now, all of this to say, I'm not judging you. You know you. I have enjoyed not having alcohol in my system. My thoughts are more consistently clear. My thinking, in my opinion, is funnier, quicker witted, and deeper. My body's healthier, cleaner, and leaner. Now, if you're curious, just try it. Determine why and when you enjoy a drink. Does it sound like a healthy use of a cocktail or glass of wine? Would you be fine without it? Should you be coping in another, maybe more healthy way? Only you know if you should stop. And maybe you just stop for a specified time. That was my plan. But I'm enjoying feeling so good, so much better, that I will probably keep abstaining. I just want to encourage you to make a conscious choice that's best for you. Back to food. Find a plan that works for you. It does take a plan, education, and you're going to need patience as you change your deep-seated habits. You can learn what macros are. I've realized that if I'm in a situation with lots of snacky processed foods, oh, think chips and salsa or cheese crackers, I'm going to overeat. Not only because I enjoy snacking, but because the fuel I'm giving my body is cheap. It's not going to last for long, so I want to keep eating more. Changing may be hard if you have yo-yoed through life trying everything, but I know you can do it. You can make a full-blown change. Your brain is the first place to start changing your food intake. Find a trusted source to explain macronutrients and start reading labels and learning about proteins, carbs, and fats. The final leg of my table. Sleep. I need 8 hours of sleep. Minimum 7. I had no idea the power of getting the correct amount of sleep until my cancer journey. Surgery, then tests, then chemo, chemo, followed by surgery. Not only was this a time my body needed to heal and repair, but the stress of hospitals and doctor visits and blood draws added to the disrepair and the physical exhaustion. By my last day surgery, I remember begging the recovery nurse to please let me go home. It was one of those last minute surgeries, so the OR time is later in the day and gets pushed to later and later and later. By the time I was in recovery, it was almost time for the night shift. And they really wanted me to stay because one of the incisions was slow to stop bleeding. Now, have you ever tried to intentionally make yourself stop bleeding from an intentional wound? It's not really something you can control, like holding your breath in or sucking your stomach in to pass inspection. She asked what kind of vehicle we were going to be in, if I could recline, how far I had to drive. She made me swear that I would get back to the ER if I hadn't stopped bleeding within an hour. I am still so very grateful for her grace, her mercy, and that she trusted me to know my body. She let me advocate for myself, knowing I would rest, sleep, and recover so much better in my own bed. And I did. I've noted the power of refreshing rest. True, deep, undisturbed sleep that is completely uninterrupted. Something that's a regular gift in an empty nest. During the grief of my mom going home to Jesus and then Elena joining her a year later, my sleep got way off. Insomnia, weariness without the ability to sleep, laying down, okay, falling asleep, maybe, but then awakening a half an hour later. Sometimes life has interruptions to our optimal habits. I found prayer, sometimes wordless cries, "Oh, Lord, please help me," and Bible verses such as, "Come to me, you who are weary, and I will give you rest." Jesus gave me this hope. And eventually, as my body physically processed the grief, the anxiety, the sadness, and the longing, I had to feel those emotions. I could learn to rest again. Do you know how much sleep your body needs? That amount for your optimal function? Do you realize the toll that is being taken on you, your family, your coworkers when you're not getting that rest? I know some people have FOMO about going to bed before everybody else, or maybe earlier than is expected. Some of us piddle away precious hours on social media for that dopamine hit. Who liked your post? What's going on with so-and-so? How did I get to these reels on tropical fish when I was checking a hockey score? Well, that's just a hypothetical. Full boring disclosure. I don't really get stuck on my phone. I know I'm not normal. I'm also not informed on some pop culture trends or the latest fads. Usually Brian or someone in my family lets me know what I need to know. I realize that this is really, though, a very hard thing for some people to do. Maybe you need to shake things up. Put your phone away at a specified time in another room on purpose. I'm not one who tracks each of these habits 24/7, 365, but I do see the benefit of using apps or tools to track when I've gotten off track and helping my body get back on to the best habits. Life is going to throw us curveballs. There's going to be sickness, grief, lots of other unexpected routine interrupters. But you can get back on track. And here's the coolest thing about getting back on. You get back on further down your health journey. You don't have to start back at day one of your good decisions. That is so encouraging. I enjoy getting back to a healthy place in training, eating, drinking my water, sleeping. I know I'll be sore if I've missed working out. I know I'm going to go to the bathroom a million times until my body readjusts to drinking the right amount of water. I know I need to get up when I've been staying up late just to make myself tired at the right time of the evening. And I know I need to replace buying the fuel empty foods with healthy, fresh vegetables and fruit if I've been emotionally eating. I have a great appreciation for a well-functioning physical body, greater than ever before. I don't take my health for granted any longer. I find joy and gratitude in being able to move my body and face the challenges of a impromptu pickleball game or a hike on vacation. I enjoy swimming more than I could have ever imagined before becoming a grandmother. Trying to keep up with the aquatic curiosity of the youngest generation while dodging the diving board gymnastics of the full-grown adult children, this takes skill. This is why it is important for me to think well. I've made the decision to see myself as a fit 60-something lady who plans to make the choices that prove that image to be true. You have that power. You can change how you see yourself, which in turn will change the decisions you make to prove that image true. Thank you, James Clear, Atomic Habits. Consistency is a strong attribute. I've learned the value of it in many areas of my life. One of my favorite sayings is that we overestimate what we can do in a short amount of time, say 6 to 12 months, but we underestimate the power of consistency over many years. Think about that. If you decided today to change one habit, I mean, like really decide, no going back, no wishy-washy, I'm doing this. I'm putting my phone away at 7 p.m. every night. I'm going to move my body 30 minutes each day, 4 times a week. I know that ice cream every night is not fueling my body, and I will save that for honest, special occasions. You can do that. One more encouragement. If you're thinking, I don't have time for this, Kathy, I got it going good enough. I want to challenge you to do a time audit. That is, look at what you do with your day and all the hours that you have in it. You have 24 every single day. The value of a time analysis is to help you see if you're spending your time where your priorities are. It doesn't matter what order you do this in. What you're going to do is make notes or journal where you're spending your time for a whole week. Sleeping, eating, working, driving, scrolling, working out, reading to your kids, playing with your kids, taking care of your kids, spending time with friends, family, etc. And then make a list of your priorities. What is the most important thing to you? Spiritually, physically, mentally, in your work and career, relationally? Compare your actual time allotment to your desired priorities. See if they align. If they don't, what changes can you make to make them more closely align? If you're way off, I want to encourage you to change one thing. Just one, with a plan to add more as you do it. This sets you up to succeed. Nobody changes 180 and sticks to the plan. I want you to be able to be spending your time in a healthy body, living your priorities. Remember to focus on progress over perfection. Thank you, Trainer Tom. Once again, consistency will do that. So take time. Evaluate your habits. Is your table balanced? What about moving and exercising? Eating and fueling your body. Drinking. What are you drinking and how much? Sleeping. Now, those are the 4 legs, but spending time is just as important. I wonder if that would go as a tabletop. I'll have to think about that analogy a little bit longer. Why is this important? Because feeling great physically makes pursuing life more fun. It takes away the excuses to participate fully. Hopefully, it will make you healthier. Or if you do have unexpected health challenges, you'll be able to bounce back better with good habits that you've already established with knowledge you already have. This song this week is one of my all-time favorites. And it's because I can't be still when I hear it. It's Justin Timberlake's Can't Stop the Feeling. Because I hope when you listen to it, you will get moving and you will start feeling so good that you can't stop that feeling. As always, I want to remind you, God loves you. He created you for relationship, not only with Him, but with each other and with meaningful purpose and intentionality. You have one body for your life on this earth. I believe you want to feel good on a daily basis, and I believe you can learn how to do that. Not because you need the approval of your friends or your coworkers, or you want to look hot, or even if you need to be in a certain size of jean, but because you have great things to do and accomplish in this life, and you increase the enjoyment of that within your days when you make wise choices for your physical health every day. Will you do me a favor? If you're enjoying these podcasts, will you share with just at least one person? If this episode didn't resonate, maybe one of the earlier episodes do. I want to thank you for continuing to listen. I'm enjoying being with you. I look forward to next time, and may God bless you.
Please email your questions and comments to info@thekathyrogers.com. If you found value in this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to receive each episode when it posts. We appreciate you.